Wave of Mutilation asked, what's your thoughts on the new Pope? I need to figure out how to pop your comment up on the screen. I don't know how to do that on Streamlabs, which is the software that I'm using. I need to figure out how to do that so I can pop your guys' comments up so that people can see them. But I'm just reading through here, and Wave of Mutilation said, what's your thoughts on the new Pope? Do we want to talk about my thoughts on the new Pope right now? Because I went on a rant last night. All right, fine. We'll get into my thoughts on the new Pope. Why not? I know a lot of people were very, very optimistic when he was elected. And of course, anytime there's a new change, it's an opportunity for things to be done differently, for things to be handled. And I know a lot of people were very excited because Leo is an American and was viewed as a moderate, and people thought that he would probably be more likely to carry on the reforms and everything that Pope Francis was trying to do, allegedly, prior to his passing, better than some of the other cardinals that were being considered potentially. So people were obviously very hopeful about that. I'm just going to tell you about something that happened because it just confirmed my suspicions. So Gareth Gore, who is the author of Opus, The Cult of Dark Money, Human Trafficking, and Right-Wing Conspiracy Inside the Catholic Church, which is also it's at the bottom of my stack here, and if you haven't read it, you really, really should, because it's an incredible history lesson, and I guarantee you'll learn some things you didn't know before. But I subscribe to his Substack because he writes really good pieces, and although they go behind a paywall, I think a week after he publishes them, if I catch them right away as a free subscriber, I can still read them. And he's written a couple of articles specifically about Pope Leo, kind of speculating about whether or not Pope Leo was going to go easy on Opus Dei. And he published an article within the last couple of days that I read, and I don't really remember what like the big point of the article was, but he said something in there that just kind of like broke my brain a little bit, and it was like, wow, because then I saw okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not good at this, at telling this story. So I shared this on my Instagram. You can go and look at it if you want to. It's an excerpt from his article. In this article, he says, I've been working with a group of Opus Dei victims since June to try to secure an audience with Pope Leo. Encouraged by his comments about the urge to root out abuse, we wrote to him. We received confirmation from someone working in the Pope's office that the letter we sent had indeed made its way to Leo, but we have heard nothing. Zilch. While Leo talks about the urgent need to root out abuse and hails journalists for exposing wrongdoing, he refuses to meet with victims of that abuse. During the 3-year process to reform Opus Dei, the Vatican hasn't once tried to reach out to former members to ask for their input. Not once. And I said, in my caption, this is so sad to me. Pope Leo, apparently, can't clear his packed schedule in order to meet with some of the people victimized by a religious organization that is in the church he now runs. But he had all the time in the world to meet with the defenestrated weasel, Juan Luis Cipriani Thorn. Oh, he's got all the time in the world for that. And if you don't know who Cipriani is, I've talked about him in past newsroom analyses. He features prominently in the piece that I am working on right now about the now defunct Peruvian SCV organization. He's a member of Opus Dei. He was essentially disciplined by Pope Francis prior to Pope Francis's death because of a sex abuse case, sex abuse allegations from prior in Cipriani's past. Pope Leo basically told Cipriani, you need to leave Lima, you need to leave Peru, I don't want you traveling anymore. And I also believe that he was told that he couldn't come to like the Vatican, couldn't wear his like garb, robes, clerical stuff. And not only did Cipriani end up going back to Peru, he went back to Lima to get some type of a civil award from the mayor of Lima, Peru, who's this guy named Aliaga, who is also a member of Opus Dei, and the two seem to me to be just thick as thieves. And Cipriani has a long history of saying really controversial, outlandish, and incorrect things about everything from human rights to homosexuality to marriage. I mean, literally everything under the sun. I think he's had an opinion on at some point in time. You can find something somewhere. One of his greatest hits was him saying that all human rights organizations and efforts are essentially Maoist and Marxist, and essentially don't deserve our time. He was very, in statements that he'd made in the past, very anti-human rights. And he also was implicated in essentially defending this now defunct SCV organization, not doing what he should have done as a leader in that country, as a religious leader in that country, when things started coming out about abuses occurring inside this organization. He kind of just didn't take it seriously. Opus Dei also allegedly, apparently, didn't take it seriously. And so it's interesting to me that, you know, Pope Leo, he's just so busy. He's just such a busy man. He can't clear his packed schedule to meet with any of these people who are actively working to try to make reforms and changes in the organization that he is now running. He just doesn't have the time. But he has time to meet with this weasel, Cipriani. Sure, he's got all the time in the world for that. Not only that, but I saw a video on Instagram last night, and this is like, all right, I'm done with the internet now. It was some video of like a meet and greet that some people did with Pope Leo. I don't know where it was. It didn't look like it was the United States. Maybe it was in Italy. I don't know. But these people were like kind of in a line, and he was walking along, shaking hands and handing out rosaries. And the guy in the video is like, there's an American guy, and then you can hear there's like other accents and things. It's like a diverse group of people, but there's an American guy there, and he leans forward to Pope Leo as Pope Leo's like going to shake his hand. He's like, you know, you have had more hot dogs than any pope in the history of the church, because he's from Chicago. And Pope Leo, and everybody kind of chuckles, laughs, guffaws, whatever. And Pope Leo goes, but only with mustard. Only with mustard, not mustard and ketchup. I am so glad that we know how Pope Leo likes his hot dogs. I'm so glad that we know that he likes them with mustard and not mustard and ketchup. And I'm so glad that he and Cipriani got to have a little closed-door meeting. Maybe they had hot dogs together. I hope they did. And I hope they choked on them, honestly. Because Pope Leo is now, for better or for worse, the leader of an organization that has caused immense harm, irreparable damage, to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives. But he can't be bothered to meet with those people, even though they've been trying for quite some time. But he has time to handshake and howdy with some people out on the fucking street and talk about how he likes his fucking hot dogs. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's how I feel about Pope Leo. Next question.